is now in East Point. Jerry, we saw you earlier. You were in Gwinnett County, now over in East Point. What's it look like there?
Well, we've got snow falling here in East Point and a big mess here on Ben Hill Road. Take a look. A giant pine tree just came up from the roots, took down a set of power lines, snapped the utility pole right in two, went all the way across Ben Hill Road and clipped a house on the other side of the street. Fortunately, just clipped a section of the garage there. No one injured. Fortunately, the folks inside are just fine. But this is quite a mess. This happened at around 8 o'clock this morning. Of course, very high winds and rain falling at that hour, causing this tree to fall, come right up from the roots and tear down the power lines and snap the utility poles. And folks here have called 911. They have been waiting on East Point Power to respond, but no one as of yet has come out here to take care of this. And this is going to take a while to fix this situation and get power restored in this area, because there's so many power lines down, and replacing that utility pole is going to take some time. Of course, again, fortunately, no one was injured when this happened at about 8 o'clock this morning. We have seen other areas of Metro Atlanta where trees are down across power lines, taking down power poles, and it has just been a very active day for the utility companies, Georgia Power included. A lot of the outages are spotty. You've got limbs down across power lines, but it is mainly due to the rain and the very brisk winds that we've been experiencing. They were gusting quite a bit, enough to nearly knock you over at times. The winds have calmed now, and instead of the rain, we are getting a very light snow falling here. It is not accumulating on the roadway, not accumulating on the pavement at all. I think the pavement temperature is just a little too high for it to accumulate. It's not even accumulating on the ground as of yet, but again, I don't know if you can see it. It is a very light snow falling. We had a little bit of ice about an hour ago that we saw mixed in with the rain, but that again has dissipated, and now it's just straight snow. So again, another situation with a fallen tree, down power lines and down power poles, this time in East Point. We will stay here for a little bit and see when East Point Power responds. The folks out here say it was quite frightening. They heard a loud boom. They saw the flash of the transformer blowing, and they one woman that we just talked to a minute ago says she was up all night long listening to the wind and listening to the trees sway back and forth, fearful that a tree might fall in this area, and indeed one did, falling across the road here, Ben Hill Road, and clipping a home across the street where fortunately the folks were inside, but they are okay.
So Jerry, when you were driving into East Point, could you tell how widespread the power outage was as a result of those lines that are down right now?
In this area, we were over in northwest Atlanta, so we came south on I-285 when we were turning off of 285 and getting here into East Point. The minute we turned on Ben Hill Road, the power was out right there. I can't remember the name of the street that we came in here on, but the minute we got to Ben Hill Road and crossed into the city of East Point, outages, there were the traffic lights were all out, and of course you could see that the homes were without electricity. So this situation right here has caused power outages throughout a wide portion of East Point, not just right here, the few homes you see around me.
Yeah, and those homes have been there a long time. Those homes are like mid to late 1950s, so those trees have been in that neighborhood for a very long time. And I mean, that's one of the wild cards about living in an established neighborhood in Atlanta Metro, for that matter, Jerry. You know, it's almost like a lottery. You just hope that you're lucky as far as trees go. And I know living in an old home surrounded by all kinds of large trees, every time the wind begins to sway those trees, you start thinking, okay, I hope they are okay. You just don't know. I think it's a fear that all of us have.
Oh, indeed. And usually it's the spring storms that make you fearful, you know, the rains along with the thunderstorms and that kind of thing. So for this to happen in January, not unusual, because we have had such high winds. And again, neighbors here, we're talking about listening to those trees sway throughout the night and the wind. Fortunately, again, that wind has dissipated, and we haven't been getting the gust lately that we were getting earlier. But the ground is saturated, and so this tree, again, coming up right from the roots, that means that the ground was just totally saturated with all of the rain that fell in recent days, I would imagine. And so when that wind started, it just toppled right over and has caused a major problem here in East Point.
Yeah, unfortunately, that woman that you spoke with who was listening to those trees last night is safe, and everybody's okay in her house. Jerry Carnes, thanks. We appreciate it. By the way, good coverage with the University of Georgia football team in Indianapolis. You did a great job.